What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Akelo. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. If you're new here, you're welcome. Like I said, my name is Akelo. My channel is about beauty and motherhood, but today I'm going to be talking about I'm going to be beginning a series about my motherhood journey, and I'm going to be starting with the entire giving birth in first week, my experience. So my labor pain sort of began on 26th of October at around 4 a.m. I woke up and I was feeling a sharp pain, so I was like, let me wait till morning and then I'll see what to do. So in the morning I called up some of my friends. I'm like, I'm feeling a certain pain and I was beyond my EDD. It's my expected date of delivery. And so I called my friends who had had kids before, and they're like, that's labor coming in. So I called my doctor. So actually my brother-in-law called him up and I explained to him the pains I was experiencing, and he's like, that is definitely labor. So I was like, I think this is it. I'm going to have my baby today. And so I'd already packed my bags a week prior because I didn't want to be caught off guard. So I was like, at about 11, I just decided, I picked my handbag, put my mama kit in it. I told our housekeeper, you know what, let me go to the hospital. If they tell me I'm ready, I'll call you up. So I go to the hospital, get there, I had to wait a bit. So they checked if I was fully dilated, and they're like, no, you're not yet, you have to wait. You come back after like 3 hours. So I went back home. Go home, waited. I tried to rest, but the pain was it just couldn't let me rest. So I was, when the 3 hours passed, I got my bags, and I told the housekeeper, I'm like, you know what, let's just go to the hospital and wait. Went to the hospital, the pain kept coming, called my friends, and I'm like, you know, I think I'm going to have my baby. So my friend Carol came around. So she kept me some company, but then she had to leave because she was pregnant, and then she also had a baby at home. A child at home, so she had to leave. So at about 9 p.m. still, I was not yet fully dilated. So they're like, you know, we shall check at about 1 a.m. or 2. I was like, oh God. So as much as I brought my bags, first went back home. And then at around midnight, went back to the hospital. So they checked, and they're like, I was not ready. But then they told me, like, you know, you have to go do a scan in the morning because it seems you're going to be having a big baby. It's like, cool. So put in mind, I didn't sleep the entire night. So in the morning at about 7:30, like the pain really intensified. So my other friend Remy came around, and they're like, you need to go for the scan. So the place I had to do the scan was quite a distance. I had to like, sort of like a slope, so I had to go up. Remember, I'm in a lot of pain. So we had to move as we stopped. We moved as we stopped. So we went, we did the scan. Also the scan results showed that my baby was 4 kgs. So I brought back the results. They're like, that's a big baby. We'll probably have to go to theater and all that. I remember the pains were a lot. I kept having the desire to pee. It was too much. I was like, you know what, okay, fine, we shall do the theater thing. I even signed the papers. They put a cannula on me, and those cannulas for those theater stuff, they're like so big. It's not like the normal cannula. And then they had to put a catheter on me, very uncomfortable. But that saved me a lot of bathroom trips. And at about 1:30, when it was time for me to go to the theater, something like, is it the sterilizing machine in the theater got an issue, so they said I had to wait. I knew by that time the pain had escalated. I was in so much pain. I was literally, I couldn't sit, I couldn't stand, I couldn't lie. I was just pacing around, holding myself. There's some sort of pole in the labor suit where we were, and then, you know, there's like other mothers next to me. They're also in the same pain, so it was crazy. And I just kept waiting, and I felt like time wasn't moving. So at about 3:30, one of the nurses that had been checking up on me was like, let me check. So she checked. She's like, within an hour, Akela will be ready for delivery. I was like, oh God. That 1 hour was so slow. After like 30 minutes, I just kept shouting. I'm like, Musa, you know what? I can't take it anymore. I just went, laid on the bed. I was like, you know what? I'm ready for this. All I remember is I puked, and my friends are like, the moment I puked, the water broke. It's about 4:30. I seen like the pushing, the entire pushing thing began. It was so painful. It was so painful. I kept, it's be like, get a contraction. After a contraction, you push. I pushed. I felt like it was just not happening. Baby was just not coming out. And then they had to like cut me a bit. And then when like the baby's head came out, part of her cord went around her neck. And so the doctor is like, you know what? Even if you feel the urge to push, please don't push. You have to wait. So I waited. They got some sort of medical scissors. Then they cut the cord off. So as soon as the head came out, baby, the rest of the body was easy. Baby came out. She didn't make a sound. So they had to rush the baby away from me. And I was so happy I was done pushing. Then I had to get the stitches. So after the stitches, I'm like, where is my baby? I kept asking, where is my baby? Asked my friends, Karen, like, where is my baby? I'm like, oh, your baby's fine. No, but your baby looks like you. It has eyes like you. I'm like, yeah, where is my baby though? I didn't remember some sort of excuse and walked away. And then my other friend, Mary, I'm like, where is my baby? She also moved. So when they finished my stitches, I was like, I need to see my baby. Where is my baby? What is going on? I was like freaking out. So I remember trying to leave the labor suit, and they just kept distracting me. They're like, we have to first finish doing this. We have to first discharge you out of this. So I waited when they were all distracted, and I just walked out. So I met there's a lady, she's like a mother figure. She stays at our place, and I asked her, like, where is my baby? So she points inside the ward where mothers go after they've given birth. But inside that ward, that is where the neonatal unit is. So when she pointed that direction, I just, my heart sank. I was like, something is wrong. There is something totally wrong. What is? So I walked. I couldn't walk fast. I wanted to run, but I was tired. And then there's the stitches, so I had to walk slowly. And then when I get to the door of the neonatal unit is where they put the premature babies. That's where the incubators are. Babies who are not breathing well. So I was like, what is wrong with my baby? So I opened the door, I entered, and the nurse literally told me, she's like, Achu, you're tired, go and rest. I was like, oh my God. And put in mind, I gave birth at 5:30. It's now nearly 8:30. And I've not seen my baby. I just caught a glimpse of her when they pulled her out, but that was it. And I was so scared. I saw babies in there in incubators with that, and the others had the oxygen tube in them, breathing through it. So I was freaking out. I was like, okay, I just had my baby, and am I going to lose her? It was so scary. And so I remember at about 3 a.m., 2:33 a.m., they called me. She was crying. And I entered, and that's the first time I saw my baby girl. And as much as I remember entering, and as little as she was, she had a cannula on both hands, and then she had that oxygen thing. That's how she was breathing. And as scary as it was, I was just happy she was alive. That was what I was thankful for. But I was not. But then again, I was scared. It was so scary. So she was crying because she was hungry. I had to feed her. I tried feeding her, and I didn't have breast milk. And I'm like, okay, this is just day one and I'm already failing at this. You know, I was so scared. I'm like, my baby nearly died and now I don't have milk to even feed her. But then mothers around me are like, no, it's normal. You don't need to freak out. You just need to keep trying. The milk will come. So they had to feed her some neonatal feeds, and then she was getting antibiotics through the IV, the cannulas. So for like the first 2 days, I still didn't have breast milk. But then on the third day, I got the milk and that was refreshing. And then they discharged us from the neonatal unit. So she could now breathe on her own. She was lively, she was kicking. So they were like, that's a good sign. So we had to go to another ward, but we're still in the hospital, you know. And I went through a lot of emotions. I was so stressed. It was so stressing. Like, I'm in the hospital, my baby's still getting medicine. She still has the cannula on her, you know. And people are calling me up like, yo, we came to your house and you're not there. I remember one of my besties calling me. And I was like, it's complicated. I remember that week, I kept switching on my phone and turning it off because I just couldn't deal with all the questions. You know, people have babies, they take pictures and they're excited, post on their socials. I couldn't do that. I refused to take a photo of my baby with cannulas. I didn't want to remember that part. Like, it was the worst. It was the worst thing, you know. But she pulled through. So and then my partner was always there, you know. He was so supportive. He was always there. Because I even had moments when I felt like, oh my God, what is happening? And I remember one of the doctors even coming in and saying, you know, your babies may not grow normally like other kids. They may not sit at the usual time. Babies are expected to sit, you know. So all those things they broke me. I was broken, honestly. Like, I felt like I'd failed my child, you know. But the week went by fast. We left the hospital. I was happy when they discharged us. I had to move back home, you know. And I know at the hospital I had a lot of people around, so I had to move back home. I was excited that we'd left the hospital, of course. Went back home with my baby. And that's when it all began, like the sleepless nights. The first week out of the hospital, you know, babies sleep all day. And then somehow stay up all night crying. So I had to adjust and fit into the whole motherhood thing, you know. I remember my best friend coming around. She came and stayed for a week. So at night when the baby would be crying, she would carry the baby and then I would sleep. And she would sleep during the day. And I remember being like a first-time mom. I'd never carried a baby below 3 months before. Every time my friends would have kids, I'd be like, I'd go see the baby, take presents, you know, keep them company, but I'm always scared of carrying really tiny babies. I felt like they're so fragile and all that. So my baby was the first baby below 3 months I ever carried. And then I remember when it came to bathing her the first time, my best friend had to do it because I didn't know how to bathe a baby. So she taught me how to do that. And then I had to learn how to be fast with changing the diapers. I know the cord on, so I had to clean it until it dropped off. Like that first week out of the hospital is like a learning process, you know, adjusting, changing my routine, people coming around to see the baby, you know. Like it's all new, like everything is a new experience. You know, I'm thankful I had my best friend. My partner has always been there to this day. Had the neighbors around, because when I was going to have a baby, I had to move to my parents' place for a bit, because there are a lot of people there that would help me. Yeah, so that week it was crazy. No, I didn't even know how to hold a baby, so I had to learn how to do that. And then the breastfeeding process as well. Yeah, it was crazy. I had people come around and visit, and then had to get a house help to help us around. Yeah, she would help, but this is the thing. She literally lasted a week. She would come and go. She would come and go. After 1 week, she got some issues and she never came back. So we had to adjust. We had to adjust our routine and how to do things. Like, I'm a stay-at-home mom. To this day, my baby's 7 months, and I don't have a house help. I managed to adjust my routine to fit into hers. So yeah, basically that was the first week. That is my experience giving birth and my first week as a mom. So yeah, I'm going to be documenting, giving you guys tips on motherhood, taking you on a journey, keeping you updated on every steps, because my girl is now 7 months old. She's fine, crawling like crazy. She sits, makes the most noise ever. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like, comment on more on what you want me to film about. I also do makeup videos. Don't forget to follow me on my social medias. Social media, Twitter and Instagram, Melanina Kello. Yeah, so thank you guys so much. Catch you next time.